Take a load off your feet. All right. Share a couple things that you gathered from that little video today. What were a couple things that came out? What did you think? Give me some thoughts. Let's popcorn it around a little bit. Go ahead.
The arts aren't as valued as other academics.
Okay, it's unfair, right? We're treated so unfairly as artists, right? Good thought. Others?
That we don't grow into creativity, we grow out of it.
Profound statement, right?
Puts crayons or whatever in a little kid's hand, they're going to be
Yeah.
drawing all over the walls and
Yeah.
telling you that that's a flower or that's a,
Mm-hmm.
But now you put, like, have
Yep.
to draw something. I'm a little
Yeah.
intimidated.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
why.
Thank you for sharing that, because that's the first thing is, right, getting over our own fears, right? It's one of the great things about art right there, is it helps you get over your fears. So I paint just about every day, and every time I do a painting, it stinks, right? There's nothing good. You're like, oh, that didn't, I worked so hard. It's terrible, right? We all struggle with that, regardless of our skill level. And give me another thought that you heard resonated with you. Thank you.
We need to do in order to become. So we need to do music in order to become a musician. We need to do art in order to become.
Excellent point. Excellent. What else? I saw another hand over here. Go ahead.
There are a billion people that don't feel valued.
Huge. It's one of the first things we're going to do today. For those of you who don't know, I'm Coach Meyer, and I was in 3 comas 3 years ago, okay? We have a disease called Hashimoto's encephalopathy. It attacks your brain. Many women get it in the thyroid. Working with people, I'm speaking down in Jacksonville in a few weeks. There's just a lot of people now, especially after COVID, that got either this disease, mental illness. It plays out as mental illness a lot. I was rocking at one point. I couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't do really much anything for a while. And have had to build out a ministry kind of from the ground up. In the part of GRAS Ministries, Grace Recreational Art Service, Green Room Art Studio. I spent about a year basically laying down, painting, and hopefully getting the energy to maybe flick the screen, right? So that's what I did for a long time. And that ministry really working on connecting with people that have, and I have a lifetime subscription, okay? But we all got issues. We all got stuff we're dealing with, the kids we're serving. How many of you serve and have primarily minority or African American students who works in? Is it just me, pretty much? Okay. So that's one of the things we're going to work on. We'll talk a little bit about today too in ministry in our city. Obviously, we're working with about 6,000 kids at A City for God, and we're trying to get an art into the teachers, into the schools, the Word of God, all those things, sharing Jesus. I'm just going to tell you now, my brain never runs linear. We're going to be all over the place today. Try to just, reel me back in. I did try to put a little PowerPoint together. I'm going to try to rattle through this quickly, but there's the nice, we got it nicely organized. This is Coach Meyer, all the different, served in Fort Atkinson. I'm a WLC guy in Omaha, Bellevue. We served at Atonement, Hope Christian High School, did religion there. It's at St. Marcus, and then suffered the Hashimoto's encephalopathy. This is my beautiful wife over here. She is not only beautiful, but she is serving a whole bunch of kids, and she's working right now. Coach is out playing a little bit with that paintbrush, and she done working. She is nonstop at St. Lucas. I'm over here at St. Marcus. I have love golf, and I work with this, not only City for God, but Center for Urban Teaching. We just had a conference this last Friday, and we have served 18 schools here in the summer. And then, just got posted my picture of Fairview, and they're beautiful. I don't know if you know Jim Averton or not, but he was the pastor there. He's challenging us to grow in 10 years to have Fairview grow the church by 3 times, right? To have 3 times as many people. And there probably aren't a lot of churches that can probably grow that much. We've grown in a year, we're probably, 20-30% up, but there's been a pretty significant growth in a short period of time. But we got a lot of work to do, and we have potential with lots of families, lots of kids, but it's uphill both ways. We've had a lot of baptism. I just did a baptism this last week at Granville Lutheran, actually, on the north side of Milwaukee. Actually, let me just go, right there. Okay. So GRAS Ministries, what are we about? We're about helping to develop our talent, that's something we're going to do today. We're going to help you with your game a little bit, okay, and your skill level. And it doesn't matter. I had a lady last time we just had one, never painted, never did anything before, and she came back with a little game. We're going to help you a little bit with that. But we want to get over fears. We want to get over compare. Oh, mine is not as good as so-and-so's over there. We all have gifts and all different things. So help develop art. Promote positive messaging. If you don't follow me already, it's Coach Lance Meyer on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. And I never was on any social media prior to the 22nd of August, 2022. Now we can argue whether that's good, bad, or ugly, or we shouldn't be on, or should be on it, or whatever. But the reality is it's kind of the world we live in. And for me as an artist, it is the way that I try to connect. So each day, or not just about every day, I do little videos. It's called Message from the Sauna with Coach Meyer. I do little motivational minutes. I do paintings. I do a lot of different things, and you'll see that on any GRAS Ministries on Facebook, or Coach Lance Meyer on Facebook, Instagram, any of that stuff. If you Google Coach Meyer, you'll find a bunch of different things up there. Support urban ministries through art. So we've raised unbelievably about $30,000 gross. Okay, that's not all profit, but gross for our ministry at A City for God, St. Marcus. And our goal is to take that in the next 2 years, and actually longer than that, but our next 2-year goal to significantly hopefully what we're hoping to do is get where my salary is just covered. I'm still on disability, and then be able to still support what we're doing with art and the kids and all that, sharing Jesus. Generate art that inspires. So hopefully you had a chance to just kind of pop around and look at a bunch of the art here today. There's a lot of different, I do a lot of Black history stuff. I do a lot of stuff for families, weddings, funerals, all kinds of different things. A lot of portrait work. But I do travel a lot, so there's, Southwest stuff. I have stuff, down in Florida, a lot of water, and obviously here, Lake Michigan. I try to do some plein airs. Our ministry now connects. I have people in Australia. There's a lady in Australia that is doing this kind of stuff right here. And I see her about once a week or so. It's little tin foil stuff. Pretty cool, aluminum. Texas, it's all over, okay? But it's really kind of cool seeing how God has just opened some doors in amazing ways. Okay, there we go. There's our girl. This is one of the girls. This was actually at a Catholic school here on the north side of Milwaukee, as a part of our summer schools. And you're like, man, you're in Catholic schools? Yeah, we're sharing the WELS doctrine in Catholic schools in some of our places now. It's kind of unbelievable in what's going on. We serve we try to serve in communities that don't have this happens, right? They don't have active ministries going on. And so our chaplains in schools, our chaplains, I can't even say it, chaplains after school, whatever that would be, chaplains in community, thank you. But this was one of the girls here, a real talented girl. She's banging away with that paintbrush. And just gonna move this forward here quickly. These are some of the videos. I'm not gonna put the sound on because it kind of just goes crazy, but I do use art. I was just with Buzz Williams down in Texas this last week. If you don't know Buzz, he is somebody he was at Marquette University, and so I was with the Texas A&M basketball team, and so I did a painting of his family for him, and then and just kind of sharing a little message with that, prayers and a couple of different things. So you'll see that on the social media front. I use the paintings to share a story each day, okay? Or I do that, pretty regularly using social media. Here's me just painting that picture. And so creative art that inspires. And today that's how fast we're going to paint, guys. We're going to have that paintbrush going. So just grab your belt, we're going to be painting fast. So,
So next time, how long did that take you?
So this, you think I did it before I got on the plane. Okay, so I did it probably in an hour. And that's 6 people. I'll say this. I paint a lot, and I can't concentrate for very long, so I paint fast. And that's about an hour. I'll look back exactly as I filmed it, with the slow speed too, but it's not that long. Usually I do it in 3 parts. That I did in kind of it's all one sitting actually. And it kind of has those 3 parts I'm adding. We'll get to that. In fact, I'll just reference that because we're going to work on that. The blue, yellow, red. I'm going to show you how to do that with the skies. So you always have that kind of beautiful sky. And then we'll be doing some people and stuff a little bit today, get you over that intimidating. I can't draw people. Well, can you draw a stick person? I'm gonna help you draw some people today. Wow, there we go. There's the breath running out because he is just on 10 here. Our ministries run, that's Fairview, just a couple blocks up the road. I don't know if you know this or not, but we just did a little survey. 7 out of 10 people in this neighborhood right here, just up the road here, do not claim to be Christians. I mean, 7 out of 10 without a change in that, we know what happens, right? So this is, and that's, in this neighborhood here, okay? So we got, I kind of, that nervous laugh, that's what that was. Like, you can't even deal, that's what that is. Like, you can't comprehend of how serious this is and the urgency to what we're doing, okay? The schools that we serve, 9 out of 10 the kids will not be in church this week, okay? 9 out of 10 will not be in a church service. So we have to figure out how we're gonna do social, how you're gonna connect it, what you're gonna do, and that's what our chaplains are doing. So I work over at St. Marcus a little bit with their athletics. This is our guys right here, okay? These are the 6, 7, 8 people that are trying to change the world. You maybe not even see all of it, but this was a table. Our meetings, you could call them faculty meetings, 6 o'clock, 6:30 o'clock at night on a Friday. Okay, who runs their faculty meetings at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock on a Friday night? Okay, who's doing that, right? Nobody. Okay, that's these guys. Okay, because the urgency of what we're doing right now, you can't put a number on it. It's unbelievable. We have, like I said, just under 6,000 kids that we're serving. I was able to impact community. These are all people from Milwaukee. Okay, and it was, I had this up at North Avenue Market, 59th and North. That's one of our chaplains right there. It's all people from Milwaukee. And that was up for about 2 months. That's Tom Hall. He's over at Kingdom Prep, if you don't know Tom. He's from MLC. He was with us this summer. There's Pastor Steinberg. There's one of my guys who ordered 18 commissions from Coach last Christmas. There's one of them that went over to Teresa. She is fired up to have her GRAS Ministries art. This was one from Africa. There's a little rock painting. Like I said, we're moving quick. She is geeked up to get some art from Coach. And there it is. There it is. So she's got that. All those are all hers. And she was using that to share candy with the kids and share Jesus a little bit. And let's see here. There's my dad, okay, the Iceman. If you're not familiar with the Iceman at Miller Park, that's him. We like to golf together. We were blessed to golf a little bit this summer. That's been part of my recovery as well. That's Grace over at Center for Urban Teaching. That's one of my former students and doing great stuff here in Milwaukee. There's Pastor again. And all right, we're going to see if we can move it forward here. There's our logo. There are, again, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all those social media. I'd encourage you to just pull that up and follow that. There's not trying to be self, but there's some good stuff in there that you can use in your classrooms with kids. A lot of little 3-minute videos and just art and ideas. I will say this, on YouTube, I'm going to be starting to post a bunch of like how-to videos and stuff. So that'll be a really, really good resource for you. And then it'll be on Facebook on GRAS Ministries as well. Biblical art, you can see a bunch of that floating around here. I think that big one on your desk right over there has a whole bunch of biblical. And what we're doing is we're trying to paint each week a picture that goes to our stories for the week. Okay, we do use a lot of the Christ-like materials, but we also have to adjust a lot too. We have last week or a couple weeks ago we just picked up 500 kids from Redeemer. They closed their school, so we have an online school that we work with. And so we do online classes, and you can just imagine picking up 500 kids, how that's going, right? That's a little bit interesting. But that's what our chaplains are doing now. So I saw him on a couple days ago, and he's just like, he was just so tired because he's teaching, online, and then he's working at another school and stuff. So Connection, Black History, acityforgod.org. I'd write that down on your sheet too, acityforgod.org. You can see I gave you a sheet there. It has our chaplains and just what we're doing. There's a little I gave you a little Christ for Disciplers podcast. That's a really good resource for you as a teacher. It's Monday through Friday. Most of them right now are Pastor Steinberg, although I probably will be, there'll be some others probably on there as well. We did have for a while, we had other people doing it, but now our chaplains are they can't add that. So, but there's little messages. It's a 10-minute podcast each morning, Monday through Friday. Actually, you can listen to it anytime. But it's strong, good stuff. Stuff you can share. So I gave you 3 of them so you can keep one and share it with 2 other people. All right, so that's Christ for Disciplers podcast. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get that sound up. I'm just going to tell you, this is our chaplain here. I put a little art with Bathsheba up there, and he's in front of a classroom, and these first graders are fired up to see him. He is sharing Jesus, and they are on 10, okay? And what happens is he says, well, who was the second person in the story last week? And they knew it was David was the first one, and the second one was Bad Cheetah. Bad Cheetah. Which first time it hit me, and then they're kind of laughing, and let's all say Bathsheba, right? And kind of went through the lesson. And then what was really cool is he has them come up into the front of class. I think it's a first grade class. I was blessed to just, I'm his coach, and this guy's phenomenal. I don't know if you know Kerry Jackson or not, but he's unbelievable. And he has them come up in the front of class, and they're acting out, not acting out David and Bathsheba, but they're acting out the story after that with Absalom. Which, man, oh man, to try to act out a story. Okay, Coach is talking too much, but we're going to just take this very quickly to a couple other things here. Got some paint and sips coming up, got some classes coming up, art shows, and always are doing some commissions. So there's my advertisement for anybody who wants to be involved with that. And let's, without further ado here, let's get a paintbrush going here. You're going to grab some, this little one right here, okay? This little one right here. And I'm going to allow you to use a paintbrush, okay? But you're going to pick 3 colors, okay? And I will also, when I did it, I'll just show you what I did here. This is what I came up with. I took 3 colors. I used some spray bottles. If you want to do that, I have some here that you can definitely use. But otherwise, you're just going to grab three colors on that. This is called Yupo paper. And if somebody is short one, let me know. I will make sure you have one. I thought I got everybody, but this is called Yupo paper, and it pushes it it pushes the paint around. And you can do. There's a picture of Giannis floating around here. Yeah, right there, that one of Giannis. That's on Yupo paper. It's very loose. Why don't you hold that up, that Giannis one, if you don't mind? Yeah. Yep. And if you're short brushes or anything, let me know. So that's on Yupo. It allows you to really have a little fun. We're just going to do something. This is a little bit of a brain activity to start with and get over our fears a little bit. So the only direction is you got 3 minutes, and you're going to get 3 colors on that paper. I won't start the 3 minutes quite yet. I'll let you get set up a little bit. But you're going to grab your watercolors there. There are paintbrushes should be around, water. Please let me know if you're short. You're going to get 3 colors on that little piece of paper in any format you want. You can finger paint it. You can use a paintbrush. You could use the little square, I've got these little squirt bottles up here, squirt bottles. You want to put on paint with that, you can do that. Any method you want, pick 3 colors, and have fun. Okay? Should I start the timer or not? Anybody need more time setting up?
Are we supposed to have something underneath?
Okay, good question. Most of you have, and I'll give you this one right here. You got the big one. Most of you have one on the back row. Probably has a little board, and if anybody needs that underneath. Now, these papers are There you go. There you are. Yep. Thank you. So they blocked me from YouTube. I was going to put on some little light Christian music for y'all, but maybe I'll sit down. All right. Yes, water with paint. Yes, grab some colors, or if you want to play with them that way, that's a lot of fun. Grab a couple of those. Most of you will not be able to accomplish the masterpiece that I have up here, right? That's the whole point of this thing, is to have a whole bunch of fun, getting that color in there, have fun with it. You can see right away what this UPO paper does. It just creates some really cool designs and fun.
And there's not a front and a back?
Um,
Do it to both sides?
We're gonna do actually both sides, so just because
They might operate differently,
they might.
but it's, the surface is
Yeah,
generally the
yeah.
same.
It may- let's see.
Like the one that's splattered.
Yeah, cool.
It's called usual.
UPO, Y-U-P-O. Yeah, you may want to put that note down, UPO, and they come in, okay, Hobby Lobby, I know Appleton's got a little Hobby Lobby. Who's a Hobby Lobby person here? Okay, so these were about $9.99. I did get this one $11.99. They have gone up. Paper is, since I started, at one point it was almost twice as much, but anyway. UPO, this is it right here. I think this might be a medium. And I just cut them up into fours for you. So, but this is for kids. That's UPO paper, and it's a great way to just start. Now, this activity that we're doing right now is one that you can do with any medium. Okay, I would suggest that tempera, acrylic, watercolor. Pours are great. If you can do acrylic pours, that's a great one to do. But it doesn't have to be done on UPO paper, but this will get you into a painting, take over some of the fears. You can turn this into something, or you can leave it as is. Figure about a minute, okay? So I am pushing you today as far as, and it's more just because we really have a lot. I want to give you a lot of different stuff here today. So we're going to work a little quicker than maybe you would like, but I will say this as an artist, sometimes the best stuff comes, I'm not saying rushing it is not a good thing, but freeing yourself from the captivity of lack of creativity is a big deal. One of my huge goals today is to help you with your confidence, and more importantly, help you give every kid that you come across a dose of confidence. As a coach, that is one of the biggest gifts you can give to a kid is confidence. And take that seriously. You might even want to take a second as you're painting and write that down. Confidence is one of the biggest allies that you want to be giving to your kids and gaining yourself. And that comes obviously from work, but comes from scripture as well.
Reminds me of that commercial. I don't know what the commercial was for, but it's the guy saying confidence is very sexy.
Oh boy, you really got some colors in there. All right. I'm going to pick on you if you don't mind. Hold yours up here. We're going to do a little, believe it or not, we're going to be doing a little share at the end, but I'm going to just share this out. And what are you seeing in here? When you look at it, what do you see? I'm just going to put this up right there, and then I'm going to. What are you seeing? What do you like about it? What do you see?
I like the contrast.
Mm-hmm. Great contrast to colors.
Complementary colors, really contrast.
How does it make you feel?
Strong and bold.
There's that confidence, right? Strong and bold. Bam, let's go, right? Really strong colors in there. No fear. And you may or may not have the capability with the watercolors that you have to do that. But I mean, just, whatever. Some of these are higher quality, some are lower. Look at yours for a second. What emotions do you have when you look at that? What does this spark? Somebody just share a little bit. What are some of the emotions? This is the post activity you want to do with your kids a little bit.
Tranquility.
Nice.
Fusion?
The colors there are making you feel tranquil, calm. Give me another feeling you get when you look at your work or somebody else's. What emotions do you get?
Happy.
Okay? Good. Anybody making you a little, on edge a little bit, or angry, or, go ahead.
Mine feels like despair.
Okay, and what's making you feel that way?
It feels like a brush fire.
Okay, so you're actually kind of seeing that in there, a little brush fire and it's an emotion. Is that connected to any, I mean, I know there's been a lot of fires and stuff lately. Is there any of that? But just in a general sense.
I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I'm saying that is it might be a good door to, when you're using art as a little bit of a therapy as well, mental health. It's a great, and you gotta always be a little careful how you do that or whatever with a whole group. But your emotions, does anybody, this picture maybe remind them of something in their childhood or something in their life? Somebody willing to share something there? Go ahead.
Mine reminds me of an Easter egg, so it was actually bringing me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
It was like a marbled Easter egg.
And when you started, that's exactly what you're trying to paint, right?
No.
No, exactly. And that's the whole point, right? It's allowing, and we want to really, guys, play in the realm of creativity, okay? We're going to do some things that, we'll do it together, but I really am going to try to press you on your creativity today, and I want you to press your kids, because that is the thing that's gonna make a big difference, okay, in their lives, and being able to deal with all the different emotions, all the different things going on in life. I'm going to keep preaching a little bit and then come to...
Think about kids who always want to start over, like we did at Pride.
Yes.
And I probably had 10 kids say, can I start over?
And
And like, I don't know how to feel about it.
Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that?
I want it to be perfect.
They want it to be perfect. Good. Fear. Give me another thing. Why are they doing that? They want to start over. It's not right. They're afraid what other people are going to think, right? We all walk in here with those insecurities today, right? What are they? Imagine our kids, what they're facing all the time and all the different... Go ahead.
Sometimes what they saw in their mind didn't go down on the paper, and they don't it didn't match.
Mhm.
They want to try again.
Yeah, correct.
Sometimes they didn't follow directions.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah.
They cut apart their paper and that was
Yep.
supposed to stay all together.
And I would suggest, so I gave you a few directions, right? There was a few things, I gave you some guidelines. Yeah, I'm not just letting you go crazy here, okay? But I am saying, okay, these are some boundaries, and then what am I doing? Hey, go have fun. You got 3 colors. It could be 5 colors, okay? Chose 3 today just to keep it smooth, quick, and stuff. Give me a couple other questions you could add, especially related to mental health and art therapy, especially if you're able to do it in a small group or one-on-one. Any kind of deeper questions you could get to with these? I kind of mentioned the childhood. Anything that this is, go ahead.
Did you try something new? Like for kids to, just try it.
Yeah, correct.
Did it turn out how you expected? If not,
Mhm.
why not?
Yeah.
If it did, why?
Yeah. Why did I pick this activity first? What am I trying to do? Read my mind here, guys. Come on. Yeah. Get over the fears, right? Get over your intimidation, right? How easy is this to do with kids right here? Everybody can do this, right? You can do this with watercolor. You can do it with anything, right? Thank you for taking notes. And so, anybody else just got a comment related to this activity and how you might use this in a classroom? Anybody got something beyond just my brilliant mind up here that's just spewing knowledge and insight? Anybody else got something, though? Seriously, somebody else that got something they think this would be really helpful to use with kids or adults, or you could use this in a way? Go ahead, out of the box a little bit.
Just do fun things with kids and you don't tell them it's going to be graded or they can throw it out after. I think it lets them just have a little more fun with it because they know there's nothing coming.
Yeah. So one of the things I would definitely have you do, and it's not dry, just flip it over. Look at it from another angle. Just do that as best you can. Kind of look at it, or I'm sorry, not flip it over. Turn it 360s and 180s, and just kind of look around it a little bit. Does that change your perspective at all? I'm going to pick on mine here just a little bit. Actually, as you're doing that, just kind of look. So as I did this kind of thing, so my one, I'll just say it. My one, it was coming together nice, and this spot right there just got away from me, right? I got this big blob kind of in that spot. But when I turn it this way here, I got people down here, okay? Somebody playing the organ right here and banging those keys, right? I know you see that, right? So we got the people banging the keys. We got some people down over here. There's a flow, and especially when it was wet, there was a kind of a flow kind of coming off. There's that picture, the one I think maybe showed with Pastor Jeske. I kind of showed it early on that was on UPO paper, and those of you who are familiar with Pastor Jeske and Time of Grace, There's one where it's on Yupo paper, but it has that feel of just kind of fire coming out of the piano kind of thing. It's really loose. Giannis was one that, there's a little intensity to that, and Yupo allows you to do that. As you looked at it differently, just real quick, anything else that came to mind as you saw it from a different angle? Did it change anything, or did you see something you didn't see the first time?
Just a different movement.
Okay.
If it's, and even as you pick it up and move it
Yep.
around,
Mm-hmm.
it moves.
Yep.
And then it changes and,
Great. Great. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Try to have that too. Have them look at it from different angles. That's another. And then take that into life. Okay. Being able to be very open, very looking at things from different angles. All right. We're going to go ahead and flip that over. And here we're going to grab the first color we're going to grab. Actually, you got your little pencil. Grab that little pencil. We'll do just a quick sketch here. I'm hoping, let me go back down here. Let me get rid of this. I'm hoping that I have my camera. That's interesting. No, that's not it. Isn't that it? Okay, why is it showing me from this camera? Which camera is it going off of? That's weird. Sorry. I was trying to get it on that. Does anybody know this machine right here? Anybody know the tech on this? This thing? Is it? Because it's picking up me, right? I want it to pick up this guy.
What about that corner camera up at the top underneath?
This one here?
Yes.
Try that.
But it might not be touchscreen.
Oh,
It was.
You might do it from, oh, it is touchscreen.
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Um,
Anybody feel free to. I tell you what.
Can you do it on your screen?
I thought it was. I don't know. This is grabbing the camera from the front here, right?
document camera hooked up to your computer?
It is, but it may be what I maybe need to do is take it out and put it back in. That might be. Try that. Let me go down here. Nope, nothing. Okay, we're always prepared for plan B, C, E, and F because I don't know. If somebody knows a little bit of something, wants to play with that for a second, great. We're going to move on. So, all I want you to do is divide your paper into just a light line here, into 3 parts, okay? Just like that, horizontal lines, just real light. Just divide it up into 3. You could even do this without a pencil, but we'll do it with today, okay? So you've got your paper into 3 parts, okay? I'm going to very quickly teach you. Thank you for fiddling with that. I'm going to jump over this. On the sheet that you have, here's what we are going to do. You're going to create a masterpiece on this Yupo paper, okay? So you kind of have your 3 parts here. The skyline is here. You've got your water, and then the foreground, it could be sand, or it could be, my foreground is kind of these deep waves, okay? So I'll leave that kind of sitting up here as your model. Hopefully you can kind of see that. And if anybody's got a better idea than that, please let me know. Thank you for fiddling, and if you can't get it shortly, I'm going to grab a paintbrush, and we're going to do the top. You're going to start with the color yellow, and you don't have real large brushes there, but you're going to, as best you can, I would say use a medium to large brush. And this is not going to be a big area. I'm just going to grab my yellow, and I'm going to, I'll hold it up so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm going to work very quickly. All I'm doing, and this line should be straight, and of course it's not straight, but I'm just going to put a yellow like this, as straight a line as I can, which of course isn't that straight, but something like that. Just going to grab some yellow.
Sorry, it's not like mine.
It's not,
It's
yeah,
cool.
we had it too. That's what's so
I
frustrating,
know.
but thank you. I'll maybe try one more time. Then I'm going to do this real quickly. You can start as you feel comfortable. I'm going to grab just a little bit of red. So it goes from yellow to red. And I'm going to kind of run it into the yellow a little bit, but still leave a little bit of that yellow. I could put a little, I could leave a little space for the sun if I wanted to do that. Maybe I'll stick that up here. Oh yeah, there's one naturally formed. Look at this. There's a beautiful sun right there. It just naturally came out there. And then I'm going to take, it's always yellow to red to just a little bit of blue. This is a real simple thing you can do to teach kids how to make a sunrise or sunset. But if you put the blue next to the red, you can't have the blue. Okay, tell me why you can't have the blue right next to the yellow.
Makes green.
Makes green, right? And there aren't a lot of green skies around. I'm not saying it never happens, but all right, there we go. So, and you'll have different areas, you'll have different levels of success with that. This is a paper too, I would do a lot of this kind of thing, rock your boat a little bit, move it around, pull it, where you want it. And hopefully you're getting a little bit of a yellow into red into blue kind of thing for your sky. Go ahead, ask questions. Yep, go ahead.
Do you use a lot of water?
Good question, okay. On UPO, it's gonna take a little while to dry. I would use water, I wouldn't overwater, okay? On other papers, I probably would do it. But yes, it is going to be wet. That's, wet on wet. But I didn't wet it. I didn't have to wet the UPO. You just, that brush will, if you got water in your brush, that'll be plenty. You'll probably have more of a problem having too much water than not enough in this particular thing that we're doing. So again, working quickly, we're just adding 3 colors. We're taking our primaries, but we're not mixing them. We really are. Actually, if you do it right, what actually will happen, and you don't have a lot of space, but on a bigger piece of paper, what will actually happen in there with those 3 colors? If you put the yellow right next to the skyline or whatever, okay, and you mix red, and then blue up on top. How many colors you can actually end up with, probably? 5, right? You're going to end up with yellow, into orange, into red, into purple, into blue. Okay? I'll teach you one just real quick artsy thing. In your skies, and you can teach your kids this too, normally the top of the sky will be the darkest part. I know you don't have a lot of area there. I'm going to just teach it, whether it turns out or not. We'll see. But the top of the sky will, generally speaking, again, it's art, so anything can happen, right? But generally speaking, the sky will be the darkest up on the top, okay? And then we'll get to the water in just a little bit, all right? So we've got our beautiful sky, or not so beautiful sky, or whatever that is. And now we're going to go to the foreground. On mine, I am going to add a little bit of a sandy scene, okay? Just so I get kind of 3 different parts. I may even add in some little cactus, some big southwest guy, a little bit. I don't know how you get. We're going to combine Florida and Arizona together and make a beautiful painting here. All right. So on the bottom here, why do you think I'm not doing the middle right now, the water?
Because it's not dry.
Yeah, it's not dry on the top, right? So I go to the bottom area. Again, you only have so much time in your art class with kids anyway. So I'm going to start, again, yellow. I'll say it this way. Anytime I can, I'm going to start with yellow. And I'm just going to yellow up this area up in front here. Oh, I wish that thing would work. Wait, I'm just going to check one more time. Did I put the right? No, that's looking at the...
Would you like me to go up and see if the IT guy can come down and help?
That would be great. There's a telephone number right here. If somebody wants, I think you have to call them. But, right here, text. Yes, thank you. I put yellow on the bottom. Now, it's up to you if you want to do where you're just doing water. I am going to add stuff on the bottom just to teach it a little bit so you can kind of have these 3 parts a little bit. Okay, so I got yellow. And now I'm just going to sprinkle in, let's throw just a little orange in there. You could put red, but I'm going to grab a little orange. And I'm going to do my little fun, little splatter stuff. So I'm just going to kind of splatter that on there as best I can. And it's art, not science, so if you make a little mistake, it's all good. Those are all happy mistakes today. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of let that UPO, I'm going to actually turn it this way a little bit. So it kind of gets them running. Now, if you've ever been, how many of you are Southwest people? Go to Southwest, nobody, anybody, Southwest, go to Phoenix, South California, any of that, nobody, okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna give you a little picture of that today, it's beautiful. You think of the desert, a lot of times being these colors right here, and there is that, okay, there are those oranges and yellows, that's why I put it in. This could be the sand, okay, on the water. I'm just gonna put in some greens in here just so I can teach you a couple different things at the same time. But if you're just gonna do a sandy beach, you kind of have it here. You might want to sprinkle in just a little bit of blue. I'm going to try to hit just a few greens because the desert is actually very green much of the year. And that's why there's so many forest fires, because those little green plants burn out, and then look at Mr. Science guy up here. But those fires actually burn. You had it all set up. It wasn't you. I'm sure I messed it up somehow. But again, even if it's just your beach scene and some sand, a little bit of blue in there is not a bad thing. Okay, just getting some kind of cool colors in there. Some of that turned a little bit green for me. Great. I may put some cactus in later, I may not, but either way. Okay, now, you might have to dap that a little bit. Anybody, thank you. Any questions for me at this point, or anything I need to slow down on? Or you guys are ready to roll? I don't know what's all going on here. Any questions or anything? Who's ready? Thank you so much. Who's ready for a little bit? They're ready for the water? Ready to have some fun in the water? Okay. I think we're ready, huh? I'm not, nobody's stopping me, so we're going to get some water in here. All right. So, just going to grab our blue. This time I'm going to get a pretty fair amount of water. And this time, if I wasn't on Yupo, I'd for sure do this, but I'm even going to do it on Yupo. I'm actually going to wet the paper so I get these little wavy things in there. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Can you guys see that up there a little bit? Okay, so if you see that, I didn't necessarily cover the whole thing, and this line up here I'll come back on. So I'm just kind of getting some wavy things in there. And then, this is a little technique. Put water first, especially if you're using non-Yupo paper. Now I'll grab my blue, and now I'm just going to touch the blue in these wavy kind of motions here. Feel that? See that? Kind of just leave some whites a little bit. I'm going to leave some whites toward the bottom here, so we got a little wave coming in there. But do the water and let the paint just kind of touch those areas. So I'm just I should move my brush back and forth just a little bit. Feel me on that? How's that? Okay, maybe a little wave right there. I'm leaving a couple whites in there. And I purposely did not do the line up on the top up here yet, okay? That is a little bit by, and if you did, it's okay, but ideally you'd have this dry just a little bit, but it's art. Sometimes you have time to do that, sometimes you don't. All right, now I'm gonna get a bunch of blue on my brush. So I am getting a bunch of blue on my brush here, and I am going to hit the darkest part, usually, of the water is on the top up there, okay? Because if you look, again, Mr. Science guy up here, if you look, onto water, like in Lake Michigan, right, or Lake Winnebago, the water farthest away is going to be darkest because you have the most molecules of water, obviously. And then I'm just going to kind of bring that up to the front a little bit, and I'm going to teach you one more thing on the top here. Please just ask questions. I know I go kind of quickly here, but I want to at least show it and then answer questions from there. Okay. One technique I could have used and probably would have been good to use is to put a little tape on that top horizon line. I did not do that, but that would be another thing you could do. Some of you, I have you guys know Muhammad Ali, right? The little handshake and stuff. So I got a lot of that kind of stuff going on with this Hashimoto stuff. So I never know day to day when my hands are going to be still or not. So that's probably the hardest part. If you notice, a lot of my art I do pretty loose because some days we have a little fun. You never know what's going to happen. Like this cord over here. There we go.
Yours is beautiful.
Okay, now one little technique. On this bottom part here, I'm just going to show this. We kind of got a nice little piece here of this. See where I got this line? I didn't mean to make it kind of wavy like that, but I did. And so what I'm going to do is actually create, I got this little white above it. I'm going to just do these little, kind of this wave coming in, and I'm going to do it kind of like that. And I'll break it, and then a little more here. And you see that? It's kind of that wave coming into my desert, no, into the sandy beach. And I'm trying to see if I got a picture of that. Actually, I'm going to see if I can find. Yeah, there you go. And then I'll grab just a little more blue, and there'll be a couple dark spots. The foreground, again, you'll have just a few more of those little darky areas. Trying to just create some quick waves here for you. Let me do one. Yeah, this could be a wave coming in here. I'm just going to break that up a little bit. I'll bring the, here we go. I'll just throw a couple of these little motions this way. So the Yupo you can control a little bit, but maybe not totally. But don't be afraid to use those whites a little bit. I said I was going to put a desert in there. I think I'm going to leave it in my little sandy beach just because I like that. Now, if I am really feeling like, oh man, you know, that water is not a straight line, I can, especially when it's still wet, I can come back with a little paper towel. And from that sky, I might end up having to repaint the sky a little bit, which I don't want to do, but I'll just grab that and see if I can get a straight line across there. There we go. It's a little straighter. And again, we're working on a small space. We're not trying to, yes, these are masterpieces. They're all going to sell for big bucks, I know. But this is a great little thing to do with kids. Notice again, we're taking away fears. That's one of the reasons too. You can do this on bigger sheets, okay? But I think it's a nice size just to kind of get into something and use your resources. Okay, any questions? Give me pace. Am I okay with, yeah, go ahead, go.
I noticed, like, for the kids who don't like what they did, they can take it all off, right?
With Yupo, you probably could.
I just did.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, I don't like it, and I took this and I took
Okay.
it off.
Yeah, and I didn't like my, my line here, so I did a little bit of that. Okay, and that's fine. Okay, I'm not saying don't be a little self-critical. I'm not saying don't, evaluate and all those things. But I also want you to press through it. Okay, I want you to press through, and it might be I'll redo. I'm not saying never redo or anything like that. Any other questions, thoughts, anything? Yeah, go ahead.
So I found myself holding the edge down. I've got all these fingerprints. I can't paint over the fingerprints, like it won't hold.
Yes.
So if I were to tape it down with students, what
Yep.
would happen with that?
No, that's a good idea. You could tape it down.
Because
Yep.
I've got spots I cannot get paint to stick to.
Yes.
Fingerprints. Were
Okay, and that's, just so you know, that's part of the Yupo effect, okay? It is. I can't even remember which one. Recently I was doing, and it was leaving like big white spaces. There's a desert scene actually. It's probably in here somewhere, but this one down on the bottom here, I didn't try that hard. I'm like, oh, that could just be some people, but this spot, so that's why we're using Yupo. It forces you to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. It forces you to accept some happy mistakes. It isn't controllable as much. Okay, we're going to get on some watercolor paper here in a second that you can control a little bit. Okay, any other just thoughts? How can this be useful in a classroom? Give me something that that you can use this for. Go ahead.
Well, we call it the complementary colors.
Yeah.
And like what makes green, what makes.
Yep. You're. That's why I even I was maybe do my desert scene a little bit to get those greens in there a little bit so you can get all that. But go ahead. Yep.
I think it's also enough instruction to get kids started, so
Mhm.
you're not just blinded by a blank
Yep.
piece of paper, but it also gives them freedom to explore, and that it's okay. Watercolor it's got a mind of its own, and let watercolor be watercolor, and that's kind of nice.
Exactly. Go ahead. Thank you. Yes. Do you guys teach, like, can you control your classrooms, right? I mean, right? It's that delicate hanging on to, guiding, instructing, holding on to it, but also like, man, you ain't gonna be able to control all them kids. I mean, I'm not saying don't manage your rooms, but I am saying like reality is. These are just a couple of examples where I'm taking that same thing, blue, yellow, red, you get some pinks, some beautiful colors, just a simple technique that you can add to your game, that you can teach kids, that's really fairly simple and I do it a lot with my biblical paintings. A lot of times I'll just add that for sky effect. It kind of grabs your eyes. On the churches a lot of times. Just grab this here. So yeah, you can see it here. This is Iron Ridge, I believe. Yeah. Notice I did a rush up there. Iron Ridge, help me out. St. Paul's? Everybody's St. Paul's, right? But
Yeah, it's St. Matthew's.
St. Matthew's. Thank you. Yeah, St. Matthew's. I knew that all along. Yeah, St. Matthew's.
I couldn't come up with it.
But that's, blue, and this is on Yupo, okay? That's their church on Yupo. But I did the same thing on, here's, maybe it doesn't have quite as much blue. This isn't the best print, but this is St. Paul's Grafton. And again, same kind of thing. And you can do this, like, I'll do that, like I have a blue sky and I'm like, no, let's pizzazz this up a little bit. Let's have a little fun. And that's, again, a real simple technique. You're using all those colors. I'm not saying don't do blue skies. I'm saying it's a great way to just take a picture up. Here we go. This is a Kojic school, or Kojic church, about 15 blocks that way. And so that's a good example though. Blue, yellow, reds. You can really get the cross in there. It's just kind of a neat way to do that. Okay. Anything else before we move on? Now, when it's dry, you could come back in there and you're like, I could get some more details. You could do a couple things with it. Or like, man, I'm just going to leave that just the way it is. It's a masterpiece. We're going to put it up for sale and make millions of dollars, right? All right. I won't hold your breath on that, but a little bit at a time. Okay, I think we are ready for the next activity. So, let's grab, what time do we have? I want to make sure, 2:28? Okay, actually, 2:28, and we have until 3, I'll stay as long as you guys want to stay, but I'll just say that. But it's I have to pick up my parents at 6:23, I think, if you're okay. But I got you. But just, so let's go to the rocks. Let's do that. Let me get you a little squirt of red.
Until 3:45.
Does everybody have a rock? One of those pretty teal, whatever. Yeah. All right. Again, I'm just going to suggest this. Actually, let me show the not video. Well, maybe there's a video. Sorry, give me 1 second. Is that there? Nope. No, I'm going to mess up. Okay, right there. Okay, go back up to this. And let's just click forward just a little bit. Sorry. I just wanted to at least show you these rocks so you can see what we're doing here. Okay, right there. Okay, that bottom one, see that? Some of you have rocks that have the little heart things crossed. You can do whatever you want on that rock, but this gives you a couple ideas up there. I'll just kind of let that play. I'll get you some different colors of reds. Is there a little, somewhere around here, is there a little, yeah, that might be, and you might have to share it.
Sure.
Okay, there you go. I'll come around with some reds and teals. I know this is a watercolor, but I'm like, yeah, is it right there? You might have to share it a little bit. I think there's probably 6 of those, and I will see about getting a couple more. Okay, right? You see that little 6-color. If not, we're just going to stick it right in front of here. There you go. And you got guys, I'm going to suggest to use that red, if you have a red paintbrush, you can use any one you want, but if you're able to do the red one, that would be helpful. I'll say that. Because these are gonna have to be, you're gonna have to share this, but there is some red paint. And maybe, oh, right there, yes. Okay. You got, I would use that bigger one, but you have, I'm having you use the red one because that's the one that, it's not the best brush, I'm just gonna say that, but it'll be easier to clean, and if you use one of the other ones, it's all good, we're not gonna, but if you are able to use, that's why I did give you that one. It is not, you're not gonna control it quite as well, but just do the best you can with it, you know? And if you don't know what it's all good. You do have paint right there, you'll have to share maybe a little bit. Anybody else need paint? Did I get everybody with some red paint? So, again, the suggestion is to create, some of you have rocks that, especially toward the front, that kind of look like these. I'm going to just see if that'll play again. Just making a kind of a design. You can make hearts, you can do, and I'll come around, I'll get a black, I'll get you a little black too, so you can, again, it's totally, I'm just trying to give you a couple little quick ideas to do with kids that are fun. Now, the color on there, that teal color, that's spray paint, okay? It's primer though, okay? It's spray paint that has primer in it, so all you gotta do is spray. And you gotta put that stuff on your rock painting. How many of you guys rock paint? All of you, no, just a couple of you, okay. Give us your experience with rock painting. What do you?
I've never sprayed them like that.
You have not, okay. Does your paint stay on?
Well, we use paint pens.
Oh, Posca. Hey, there are some Posca pens over here. If somebody wants to use them, you can use them. Just make sure they return over there. But they are not mine. They're Rachel